Homogeneous functions. A function f of x1, x2 through x sub n is said to be homogeneous of degree gamma if f of a times x1 and a times x2 through a times x sub n equals a to the power gamma multiplied by f of x1, x2 through x sub n. For any constant a greater than 0, for example, suppose that f is a production function and the set x sub I consists of inputs to production. Given a particular set of inputs, open parentheses, x sub 1, x sub 2 through x sub n, close parentheses, the production function tells us how much output Q equals f of x sub 1 and x sub 2 through x sub n the firm can produce. What happens to Q if we double all the inputs so that A equals 2? If for any set of inputs output always doubles, then the production function is homogeneous of degree 1. If output does not change at all, then it is homogeneous of degree 2. If it always quadruples, it is homogeneous of degree 2, and so on. Some other examples are, and there are 5 bullet points. First bullet point, the function f of x equals 1 is homogeneous of degree 0 because doubling x leaves f of x unchanged. Second bullet point, the square root function f of x sub 1 and x sub 2 equals the square root of x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is homogeneous of degree 1/2 because doubling x sub 1 and x sub 2 causes the function to change to the square root of 2 times x sub 1 plus 2 times x sub 2 equals the square root of 2 multiplied by the square root of x sub 1 plus x sub 2, which equals 2 to the power of 0.5 times the square root of x sub 1 plus x sub 2. Third bullet point, the function f of x1 and x2 equals the square root of x1 and times x sub 2 is homogeneous of degree 1 because square root of open parentheses 2 times x sub 1 close parentheses multiplied by open parentheses 2 times x2 close parentheses equals 2 times the square root of x sub 1 times x sub 2, which is the same as 2 times the square root of x1 and x2. Fourth bullet point, the Cobb-Douglas function f of capital L and capital K equals capital A times capital L to the power alpha times capital K to the power beta is homogeneous of degree alpha plus beta because capital A open parentheses 2 times capital L close parentheses to the power alpha multiplied by open parentheses 2 times capital K close parentheses to the power of beta equals 2 to the power of alpha plus beta multiplied by capital A, capital L to the power alpha multiplied by capital K to the power beta. Fifth bullet point. The functions f of x equals x plus 1 and f of x sub 1 and x sub 2 equals x sub 1 plus open parenthesis, not open parentheses, square root of x sub 2 are not homogeneous of any degree. Let me repeat that fifth bullet point. The functions f of x equals x plus 1 and f of x sub 1 and x sub 2 equals x sub 1 plus the square root of x sub 2 are not homogeneous of any degree.